I got my hands on a bunch of used iPhones to see what autonomy the batteries have after a period of use. I will push the limits until the devices heat up, and we will see the results during the test. Let's quickly go through the presentation of the phones. The first and oldest is this iPhone XS Max, followed by the 11 Pro model. Then the 12 Pro. Follows the 13 Pro, and the last, iPhone 14. The devices are prepared, all settings are identical, so that there are no differences. I disconnect the chargers and start the timer. The latest software version is installed on each device. The brightness is set around 80% and the automatic mode is off. They are connected to the same Wi-Fi network and do not have SIM cards inserted. And now let's move on to the comparison between them. Battery health will be revealed before each device is turned off. In the first stage, I will leave the phones with the home screen on for an hour. After the first 60 minutes with a static screen on, it seems that the 11 Pro model is in the first position, which has not lost a percentage at all, and the last one, as you can see, is the iPhone XS Max, which has lost 13%. Now let's move on to the second phase, which consists in playing the video on YouTube at 1080p resolution, with the volume at half. Two hours have passed since the start of the test, and the 11 Pro model is still in first place with 86% of the remaining battery. The last position was taken by the iPhone 12 Pro, which lost 31% with 69% of the remaining battery. In the following, I will subject the phones to a difficult test in which the camera will be turned on in video recording mode for an hour at 4K resolution and 60 frames per second. A few minutes before the end of this phase, it seems that the 12 Pro model froze due to the increase in temperature. Anyway, I checked, and all the devices were hot. I mentioned that the test is done at room temperature. As I expected, this aspect has decreased a lot from the battery percentage, and the iPhone 12 Pro has only 24% left. The rest of the models perform well after 3 hours of intensive testing. The first place went to the iPhone 14, which has over 50% of the battery left, followed by the 13 Pro model, which has 46% left. In the next 60 minutes, the devices will run in gaming mode. Soon we will have the first models that will run out of battery, and I will present you their health. So, let the game run. All the devices have passed the 4-hour limit, and the 12 Pro model has a little left and closes. As I said, I will present you the health of the battery. It has a low autonomy because the health is 79%, and this is reflected in the low usage time. The XS Max and 11 Pro models are also nearing the end, and unlike the 12 Pro, they are a little better, having 81% health for the XS Max and 87% 11 Pro. For the next 30 minutes, I will use the selfie camera in video mode. And here we are at the first phone that hung up just 4 hours and 4 minutes after the start of the test. If you intend to get an iPhone 12 Pro with battery health around 80%, you will have 4 hours of continuous use. After the 4 hours and 30 minutes, the XS Max and 11 Pro, which have very little battery left, will close. After them follows the iPhone 13 Pro, which at the moment has 15% left, so I will present you the health of the battery. It has been doing well so far, with 85% battery health. Further, for the next 30 minutes, I will scroll on TikTok. At the beginning of the test, the 11 Pro model was still in first place, but things have changed in the meantime. At 4 hours and 41 minutes, it is the second that closes, giving a weak autonomy. 3 minutes later, XS Max follows, which loses the battle after 4 hours and 44 minutes. For his age, the fact that he beat 11 and 12 Pro is appreciable. I am left with two phones that have passed the 5-hour limit. The newest of them is the iPhone 14, which has 98 battery health. I will leave them with the screens on, until they turn off and we will draw conclusions. We reached the penultimate device that closed, and its result is good. With an autonomy of almost 6 hours of continuous use, it qualifies in the category of phones worth buying. Be careful, however, a possible investment in the battery, which is not cheap at all, must be taken into account. The results so far are not gratifying, but they are still decent. The iPhone 13 Pro, which is 3 times more expensive than an XS Max, lasted about an hour longer. 11 and 12 Pro are profitable only if you buy them at a good price or with a changed battery. Be careful, however. Changing the battery does not guarantee a solution to the problem. I made a video on this topic and you can learn from it. I would have expected the iPhone 14, the last one left in the test, to pass the 7-hour limit considering that it is almost new and the battery health is 98%. But after 6 hours and 40 minutes, it was completely discharged. However, it is a good result, but at a reasonable price. You decide which is the best option for you. I would appreciate it if you would leave your thoughts in the comments and tell me which model you would choose. Don't forget to give a like if you liked it and to subscribe for more videos like this.